Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Well, the Tigers have dominated the Chicago White Sox this year, winning 7 of the 8 between these two teams. Yesterday, Nick Castellanos blasted a pair of home runs, and the Tigers are headed for a sweep, we hope, today on Father's Day. It is a hot day for baseball as we welcome you inside Guaranteed Right Field in Chicago. Game 3, Tigers and the White Sox. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pep alongside Rod Allen. Glad to have you with us. Rod, happy Father's Day to you, and the Tigers a chance for a sweep heading into the off day tomorrow.
Well, happy Father's Day to you, and happy Father's Day to all the wonderful dads out there that may be tuned in to Tigers baseball this afternoon. And yes, the Tigers have a chance to sweep the Chicago White Sox today. So as long as they go out and play the kind of clean baseball they played the last couple of days, they got a chance of doing that.
You know, Nick Castellanos was struggling the last couple of days coming into the series. He is struggling no more with a big 2-homer game yesterday.
Well, Nicholas Castellanos is one of those guys that made an adjustment. We talked about it at length yesterday at the beginning of the contest, that he had been leaving the strike zone, swinging at a lot of balls away from his body. Therefore, his hands were getting away from his body. But he made a really nice adjustment in yesterday's game. He kept the hands much, much closer to the body. He homered twice, once the opposite way, which was key for Nicholas. When he's going right, he does drive the ball the opposite way with a whole lot of power. And then he went to left field his next time up on a breaking ball, which he got out in front of. But you see the good swing, and then you see when he kind of struggled with the swings that he was out of the strike zone. So nice job yesterday by Nicholas making a real nice adjustment. Let's hope he does that once again here today.
Well, you know, Blaine Hardy has been pitching so well for the Tigers. The Tigers are actually considering going to a 6-man rotation when Liriano comes back, which should be soon. That's how good Blaine is pitching.
You know, here's a guy that's having a tremendous amount of fun. You may remember at the end of spring training, they DFA'd him. So he thought his career was probably over. He went down to AAA, had tons of fun, and because he's having so much fun, he's been in that rotation and he's pitching some superior baseball. His best start probably came against the Chicago White Sox. Here are some of the numbers in that particular outing. He just walked one, a career-high 6 strikeouts, but he works faster than anybody in baseball. He keeps the ball all around the strike zone. He misses lots of barrels of bats, and he creates lots of soft contact. He's been money in that rotation. He really has.
All right, after a short break, we'll send you to the Call Sam Studios, check in with Mickey York. But coming up today, the Tigers sharing their own Father's Day wishes.
Happy Father's Day, Dad.
I just wanted to wish you a happy Father's Day, Dad. I love you. You mean the world to me. Wouldn't be anywhere I am today without you and your support.
Hey, Pops, happy Father's Day. Wish I could be with you. I know I'll see you soon. But thank you for everything.
Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I'm sure all your sons love you, and just like I love my dad. So happy Father's Day to all you guys.
Thank you. I love you. And keep watching the games and telling me what I'm doing wrong when I'm not getting hits.
Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there, especially to mine, who was such a huge impact on my life, and he's been so special to me. And just thanks, Dad.
Tigers and the White Sox on Father's Day in the final game of the series. Tigers starting lineup today is presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers, and for the Tigers it'll be Leonis Martin leading things off, followed by Candelario and Castellanos. Victor Martinez having a big series as the DH. John Hicks at first, Nico at second base, McCann, Iglesias, Jones rounded out, and they are facing the right-handed offerings of James Shields, who is presented by MGM Grand Detroit.
And James Shields a little different than the James Shields we watched in Kansas City, also Tampa. He throws now from a sidearm angle every now and then. He still has a really good changeup, but the velocity in the fastball right around 92, 93. Comes in 2-7 because his team really has not scored many runs for him this season. Now let's take a look at the starting defensive alignment behind big game James Shields this afternoon. Tilson, Engel, and Thompson. That's the outfield. Third to first reads pretty much like it has every single day, with exception of Abreu. He is not in there. Boy, that's good news. Davidson's over at first base. Kevin Smith is the catcher once again today.
Well, today we are participating in the Home Run Challenge. Every home run in this game raises money for prostate cancer research. Since June 1st, nearly $2.4 million have been raised in the challenge. You can make a pledge by going to homerunchallenge.org. There's Ron Gardenhire, set hopefully to watch his team sweep this three-game series here on Father's Day.
Yeah, everybody all decked out in powder blue today in honor of the fathers and the dads.
Leonis Martin will lead things off. It'll be Martin, Candelario, and Castellanos playing to pull on Leonis. James Shields goes to work, and the first pitch is outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Martin 2 out of 9 in the series, batting .257, and here's how the Sox defense lines up. Now Shields with the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Martin is on pace for 21 home runs this season for the Tigers. That's the type of year he's had power-wise. That's a pretty interesting get-up there for Smith.
Kind of swaggy today.
Yeah.
Kind of swaggy.
Now Shields with the 1-1 offering. And Martin looks at a ball low.
I told you that Shields no longer has the 95, 96 mile per hour fastball he had when he came to the big leagues back in 2007. But he still has 92, 93. He still has that really good changeup. And he will drop down to a sidearm slot as well, mostly against right-handers.
2-2 on Martin.
And there's an example of that really good changeup that James Shields still has. He gets lots of swings and misses on it. That one had some really nice depth to it.
In his heyday with the Rays, that changeup was his hallmark. Winning a lot of games was as well. He's gone to 3-2 now on Martin. Candelario waiting on deck. Tigers wrapping up this portion of the road trip. And this is a Tigers ball club that is playing good baseball right now. They have won 4 consecutive games. Swing and a miss. Martin is out of there, 1 gone.
It looks like James Shields going to try to keep the Tigers off balance here early today. I don't know if that's an indication of what he's going to do to most of the left-handers that Ron Gardner has in his lineup, but he threw Martin 3 changeups and 3 pretty good changeups. Tigers team is outstanding at hitting fastballs, especially in fastball counts.
Jeimer Candelario batting in the 2 spot. He's 1 for 8 in the series. Jeimer batting .251. He's hit 10 home runs. The Tigers have 19 homers between their top 2 spots in the lineup. Now Shields with the 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes. It's going to be a little bit toasty today here. A little bit of a breeze, but we are told 91 degrees and it feels like 100.
Yeah, that's the key. And there's nearly 50% humidity, so it's quite sticky today.
Awesome.
You liking it? You digging it?
No. 2-1 the count on Candelario. Stu Sherwater calling balls and strikes. Gary Cedarstrom at second is your crew chief. On a day like today, I think it's probably a given that your catcher and your home plate umpire might lose a little weight.
There's no doubt about that. And I know James McCann prepared for the outing today. He's going to be behind the plate for the Tigers. No doubt these guys been drinking a lot of water, lots of fluid the last few days, preparing for the next couple of days, really.
Candy takes low, and again Shields goes to a 3-2 count.
I hear it's going to be as hot when we get to Cincinnati. We get there tonight, but it's going to be in the 90s tomorrow, but it's a day off for the ball club.
95 tomorrow in Cincy, and then 94 for game 1. Here's the 3-2. And he walked in, ball 4. The Tigers get a 1-out walk. It'll bring up Nicholas Castellanos, who in the ball game yesterday set the tone in a big, big way. Couple of homers.
His first home run was key yesterday. As a matter of fact, Nick told the story in the post-game interview with Johnny Kane, how Lloyd McClendon told him he wanted to see him hit the ball into right center field during the course of the game. And really that was Lloyd's message to him, to make sure that he stayed on the baseball, which he did very nicely yesterday. A 2-homer day, the 4th of his career.
Yeah, the first one went out to right field, the second one to left.
Also doing some major damage against White Sox pitching this year. And nearly 350 with lots of extra base damage.
Shields has had trouble this year in the first inning. His ERA is over 7. And he continues to fall behind Tigers hitters now. 2-0 on Castellanos.
Shields is a veteran pitcher, does a lot of things right on the mound. He holds runners very well at first base. Candelario's not a base stealer, but when they do get a base stealer over there, it's very difficult to run on James. He has an abbreviated a look over there when he gets into his stretch. I mean, he really takes a look at the guy on first base to make sure they're not getting too much of a lead.
Two-0 is in for a strike. Right at the knees. Talk about a guy that just continues to take the baseball. Only Justin Verlander has had more starts since 2007, and JV only 3 more than Shields.
Yeah, Shields has kind of had to reinvent himself. JV still throwing 98 miles an hour, but James Shields no longer has that big arm that he once had.
That'll bounce in now. 3-1.
But give James some credit. He's a little bit more deceptive these days. He gives you different looks. His record should be a whole lot better than what it is right now, but they just don't score runs for him. They have not all year, really.
Well, because of that, he got a win in his last start, the first win he's had since opening day. He's gone 3-1 on Castellanos after walking Candelario. A sluggish start here for Shields, who's 36 years old, born in Newhall, California.
His uncle is Aaron Rowan, Mario, who used to play here for the Chicago White Sox back in the day. Both guys lived in Las Vegas at that time.
Drilled deep in the air to left field. That ball is hit well, going to the track, going to the wall, and it's gone.
Look how Nichols is on fire.
A 3-homer series for Nicholas Castellanos, a 2-run shot, and the Tigers have an early lead.
Can he get any hotter on Father's Day? And we told you that Nicholas Castellanos, and we've been talking about this really all season, he's one of the best breaking ball hitters in the game. And he got that leg kick up. He got it back down. He recognized the breaking pitch early. And like Nicholas does on most occasions, when he gets a breaking ball and he hits it in the air, it goes out to left field, not right field as he does with the fastballs.
Shields has gone to a 3-ball count in every batter so far, and he has paid for it. And now he misses high and away to Victor Martinez. Tigers have scored first in all 3 games in this series. They've also had to fend off a couple of comebacks for the White Sox. One ball, one strike on Martinez. The home run by Castellanos, number 9 on the season. 41 driven in now for the Tigers' third baseman, who at one point was 0 for 19 coming into the series, but that slump is gone by the wayside.
It's amazing what you can do when you get strikes, and that's what Nicholas has done in the series. He's made the White Sox throw the ball over the plate. He hasn't been chasing at all.
2-2 the count on Martinez. '22nd pitch coming up for Shields. Little chopper slowly back up the middle. Anderson charging. And out at first base is Martinez. Well, little Liam Castellanos had a message for his dad, Nick, on Father's Day.
I hope you have a great game today. I hope you hit the ball really far. Happy Father's Day. I love you. Bye.
At least he's getting the concept of baseball, which is a good thing. It's awesome, man. I mean, anytime that you see your kids show you appreciation for, I mean, us as parents, we're showing appreciation for our kids every day, but, as a kid and a father, from the kid side of it, it's easy to take it for granted.
Hey, Liam, Daddy did hit the ball far.
He did, didn't he? How about Liam? Hit one way far, Daddy.
2-run shot to give the Tigers an early lead. And that is 3 home runs in his last 2 games now for Nicholas. Here's the 0-1. Hicks fouls it back 0-2. It's the first batter in this inning that Shields has gotten ahead of.
Now here's where he tends to give you a different look, a different arm slot. Against the right-handed batter mostly.
Flared in the air toward right field. On the move is Trace Thompson. He's under it to retire the side. The Tigers score first again. Nicholas Castellanos on Father's Day. Kaboom. A 2-run shot off James Shields. Nicholas Castellanos, and Blaine Hardy is on the mound today for the Tigers. And he is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
What a pleasant surprise. Making his 6th start this season. And Blaine Hardy comes in 2-1 with a 3.55. 27 strikeouts, only 9 walks. He hasn't given up a lot of hits. Left-handers have done very little damage against Blaine Hardy. He's been awesome. He really has.
Shake up in the lineup today for the Sox. They have Tim Anderson leading it off versus Hardy.
It's almost like Anderson and Moncada. They just flip-flop spots today in the lineup.
That's pulled in the left, a base hit. Going to take a wide turn, but over there to cut it off is Jones. And holding with a leadoff single is Anderson. Rest of the lineup for the White Sox presented by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. You've got Sanchez batting second, and then Kevin Smith. Abreu will get the day off. He's been slumping. Davidson batting cleanup, then Polka and Engel. Moncada is down to 7th in this game, and then Thompson and Tilson facing the left-hander. Yolmer Sanchez will stand in. Yolmer had a 3-bagger in the ballgame yesterday, now leads the majors in triples. 2 out of 8 in the series.
A couple of days ago, Rick Renteria, the manager of the White Sox, gave his double play combination up the middle. Anderson and Moncada the day off. They were a little tired as well. Abreu, as Mario mentioned, gets the day off, and I'm sure the Tigers, they're not crying about that one.
No, and Abreu hasn't been performing all that well, but it doesn't matter. He is a tremendous bat that they're happy is sitting on the bench today. 0-1 on Sanchez. Got to keep an eye on Anderson. Not only is he a base stealer, but a good one. He is 14 out of 15 this year.
Might be tough for him to run on Blaine Hardy. And 1, Blaine is left-handed. And 2, Blaine has a pretty quick move over to first base, and he's pretty quick to home, too.
Runner goes. Here's the throw down to second, and it is in time. They got him. Did he come off the bag? He is called out at second base.
Anderson forcing the issue, even though McCann behind the plate has an outstanding throwing arm, and Blaine Hardy, as we just told you, takes very little time getting the ball to the catcher. Outstanding throw here by McCann. Look at the throw. And look where Goodrum takes it and applies the tag as he comes off the bag, as you mentioned, Mario.
Yeah, he beat the throw barely, but right there. Came off the bag. So they're empty now for Sanchez. Only the 2nd time Anderson has been caught this year. Liriano is making a rehab start for the Tigers, and the thought is if things go well, he is back in the rotation, which kind of throws the future of Blaine Hardy up in the air. But Ron Gardenhire said before the game today, the Tigers now considering a 6-man rotation because Blaine has been pitching so well.
Really?
And so either way, he's going to remain with the big club, whether it's in the bullpen or the rotation. Now, the 6-man only through the All-Star break. I should qualify that. 3-2. Chopper to third base. Glove there off to the side by Candelario.
And I want to do a little teaching here for some of you younger middle infielders. Take a look at where he takes that ball, Nico Goodrum. And had he been straddling the bag, I mean, not in front of the bag, but straddling the base, and he allows that ball to travel a little further, then he's able to apply a little easier tag to Anderson before he slides in. But Nico, of course, still learning all the positions in the infield and the outfield. Mario, I met his dad today. His name is Tim. Man, you can see where Nico gets his size from.
Really?
Man. Goodness gracious.
Big man?
Oh, my man. He's strong, man. He's strong. You can tell he spends a little time in the weight room, put it that way.
You know, when you see Nico on the field, he looks like he's a pretty sized kid. But then you see him in the locker room.
Yeah, he's 6'4" or 5. I told Nico, I see why you keep yourself in line. He says, oh, yes, sir.
Kevin Smith rolls it foul. Well, Nico's been a terrific addition to the Tigers this year. They've got him at second base today, and he has just been so valuable for Ron Gardenhire, playing outfield and infield.
And the key for Nico is he's a switch hitter with power. He can steal your base.
Now the 0-2.
Hardy works probably faster than any of the Tiger starters. I mean, he usually grabs that baseball, he gets right back on that rubber, gets his sign, and he's ready to deliver his next pitch. He is not thinking a lot out there. I think he's even quicker than Boyd.
And Boyd's pretty quick.
Well, you see Smith is stepping out of the batter's box. He's slowing him down, which is what we're going to see a lot of the White Sox batters do today, because that word is out on him. Oakland University brings you the Tigers starting defense. Jacoby Jones in the outfield today. He's occupying left. Martin, he's in center. Nicholas Castellanos, the home run hitter. He's in right. Candelario, Iglesias, Goodrum, Hicks, and McCann, starting catcher.
Full count now, 3-2 on Kevin Smith, who entered the ballgame today with an 8-game hitting streak. 2 out of 4 in the ballgame yesterday, and back behind the dish again here this afternoon, batting third. Slap to right field. It is a foul ball, just foul. That would have been a double. Eric Cooper was right on that call, the first base umpire. Three and 2 on Smith. This will be the 8th pitch coming up in this at bat. Now the 3-2. Little pop up, middle of the infield, shallow center, and Nico runs it down. Nicely done. Goodrum showing some wheels. We go to the second. New dad James McCann coming up.
Special. I'm not too emotional, but that definitely grabs the emotions. I see my wife and my babies. It's a pretty special video right there.
Special day indeed for James McCann, celebrating his first Father's Day, and he will bat second here in the second inning. It'll be Nico Goodrum to lead things off. Nico, then McCann, and then Iglesias. Tigers jump to a 2-0 lead on the home run by Castellanos. Shields back to work, and he throws ball 1. 25 pitch first inning for Shields. He fell behind Almost every batter in that frame.
And Tiger's very patient in that first frame against James.
Pulled foul down the right field line. Well, Nico's got some special memories in this ballpark. First major league homer was hit in this park back in April. First major league stolen base as well.
That's kind of when you started to understand, I mean, this team might be a fun team to watch because they had a come from behind victory that day here in Chicago, and then they just kind of showed that grit day after day after day. It's almost like that kind of got them going as a team.
I would agree. I think they were down 7-2 in that ball game when Nico hit the home run to help them come back. Swing and a miss, and Shields strikes him out.
Here's this changeup that James Shields has made a living in throwing in the major leagues. It's a circle change, and you can see that it's a lot like Buck Farmer's changeup, and both guys basically throw it the same way, where they violently pull that left shoulder toward first base, and it gets that arm into a slot over the plate, and that changeup just has a lot of fading action to it, a lot like Buck Farmer's changeup.
Now McCann takes ball one. I've often wondered about the changeup. What makes it such a good pitch for those that can throw it well? Is it the arm action, or is it the manipulation of the baseball?
I think it's the arm speed, and a lot of times if you can throw it from the same slot as you throw your fastball, which is key, because it basically has the same spin as the fastball, and hitters just don't pick it up. And on top of that, if you're throwing your fastball 92, 93 in this case for James Shields, and then you reduce the speed to maybe 85, 84, it's a valuable pitch because hitters see fastball, but they get changeups. So it's pretty much the arm speed.
In the air to center field, where Engold is positioned. He'll come in a couple of steps, and there are two gone. We'll bring up Jose Iglesias, and it brings us to the Bernstein advantage. Iglesias, month by month, is moving on up, as they say.
Like the Jeffersons.
Just like the Jeffersons.
That was a great sitcom, man. Oh, man.
The deluxe apartment in the sky.
Yes, indeed. Wheezy. Dating ourselves.
Was that set here in Chicago?
I believe it. Where was it?
Or New York? No, it was New York.
New York?
Yeah.
Good show.
There's a strike called Good Times was set here, which was another fabulous sitcom.
JJ. That was nice.
Oh, what a great show. The 0-1 pitch. Little chopper back up the middle. It's going to be gloved there by Moncada. And it's going to be a much better 1-2-3 for James Shields. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Team Chicago, and Chevrolet's most dependable player is Blaine Hardy, especially when he is facing the opponent's middle of the lineup.
A lot of soft contact from the guys who are supposed to do most of the damage, but not against Blaine. And Blaine has that fastball that will top out at about 91. He has the other 3 pitches, which would be the curve, the slider, and the changeup. And he uses all of them effectively, and he'll throw all of them in any count. Very confident in commanding his off-speed stuff.
Matt Davidson leading it off for Chicago. Davidson, Polka, Engel. Drill deep to left field, down the line. That ball is going to go. It's out of here. A home run for Matt Davidson.
Davidson has quite a few home runs against the Tigers. Yeah, really since he came to the big leagues for good last year with the White Sox. As a matter of fact, he had 5 home runs alone last year against Tigers pitching. Blaine Hardy doesn't make many mistakes with the breaking ball, but that one, it was 73 miles an hour, and it was right over the heart of the plate, and you can see Davidson's eyes lit up.
Beyond the bullpen and left, Davidson hits number 12 on the season, and the White Sox have a run. Daniel Polka, the batter. Or as Ron likes to call him, the softball player. With that swing he's got.
Yeah, he does. Now he's looking to do one thing, partner, and that's hit it in the air. And he's got a lot of power, too. He really does.
Little chopper to the second baseman, Goodrum. One gone. Well, the Tigers are hosting the Rangers Saturday, July 7th at 4:10, and the first 10,000 fans receive a Willie Horton 1968 50th anniversary bobblehead, courtesy of Dunkin' Donuts. If you'd like tickets, 866-66-TIGER or tigers.com.
That's the first text I got this morning from Willie Horton.
Willie?
It was about 6:32. Willie, you're getting up too early these days, man. Get some sleep, man. It's Father's Day.
It was 7:30 at home, so.
Yeah, Willie was up early, man. He said, happy Father's Day. It's Pops. Well, happy Father's Day to you as well, Willie.
Adam Engel, the batter. Engel batting .218, couple of hits in the series.
If Engel could ever get his numbers, offensive numbers, a little bit more positive, he could be a really good player for a while, because defensively he's tremendous in center field and he has really good speed, but man, he just not hitting that ball, and he hasn't done it for a year now.
Yeah, and I guess you get to a point, and what do you think that point is? How many at-bats in the big leagues before you finally kind of zone in on what kind of hitter a guy will be?
I think they're probably going to give him the majority of the year, Mario, only because they're in a rebuilding situation. And they know that if he could somehow figure it out defensively, he's their center fielder of the future. There's no question about that. But at some point in time, he's going to have to produce more offensively.
Yeah, Engel last year batted .166. He's barely over that this year. Yohan Moncada batting in the 7th slot. He's been scuffling as well. He'll shoot that one back up the middle.
Beat the shift.
It'll be a 2-out single for Moncada. 3rd hit already now for Chicago in this game. They had only 3 hits in 7 innings the last time they faced Hardy.
Blaine Hardy, just like he did when Anderson was over at first base, he'll watch Moncada. Moncada has 7 steals this year. He's been caught just 1 time, so he might try to force the issue just as Anderson did. The White Sox have a lot of stolen bases as a team, and they lead the majors in stolen bases.
Trace Thompson batting .121. And speaking of Sox hitters that are struggling, he is now 3 for his last 38 at bats. He's got 3 homers. That'll miss low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Thompson has played all three outfield positions, whether it's right, center, or left. They got him stationed out in right today. Now the 1-1. 2 balls in, 1 strike. Talk about the Sox and how they still have a bright future in terms of all the prospects they've gotten with some recent deals. They still have 7 of the top 100 prospects in baseball. So there's still some more coming. They're hoping that guys like Moncada, who are here right now, can get it going. Here's the 2-1, swing and a miss.
Outstanding pitch there by Blaine, and that's exactly what he'll do. It's a 2-1 count, and up here most guys have to look for their fastballs, but very seldom will Blaine throw you a fastball in that count. It's a really good pitch, had some movement on it.
Moncada is 7 for 8 in stolen base attempts, and McCann has already thrown out. Tim Anderson trying to steal. Swing and a miss. He left the strike zone and struck him out. They'll settle for 1 run. They do it on the swing of the bat from Matt Davis in his 12th home run of the season. Hardy bunt. 2-1 Tigers.
My whole life, he's a big mentor for me. He's probably the biggest role model I got, and I looked up to him every day, and it's just a great thing that he helped me so much in my career, and I can't thank him enough for it.
Well, the good thing this year, Rod, we've seen a lot of the Tigers thank both the moms on Mother's Day and the dads on Father's Day. Really have had a huge impact.
Yeah, no question about that. I mean, the parents play such a huge role in the success of these guys, and how they've matured as men. And I'm sure the parents and the dads are as proud of these men that are saying Happy Father's Day to them today, because they've become really good men, really good leaders. And a lot of these guys on the field, they have their own families now.
Jones getting it started for the Tigers. They lead 2-1. James Shields had a 9-pitch second after throwing 25 in the first. Always represented well here in Chicago. Tigers fans wearing the old English D. Here's the 2-1. Jacoby fouls it off, 2-2. Jones, Martina, then Candelario. And Jones now has hit safely in 5 in a row. He's got 4 triples this year. That is a fair ball inside the bag at first. Thompson gets over there quickly and holds him to a single.
I don't think Jacoby was necessarily trying to do what he did. But he'll take it, and there's no doubt about that. I mean, that ball, he swung real late, and that ball went right down the first base line. I don't know if he knew where it was right away, but he picked it up and got to first base. Why in the world were they playing him down the line so closely?
I don't know. I couldn't believe Thompson got there so quickly.
I mean, that should have been a double all day, every day.
Here is Leonis Martin.
And James Shields will pay a little bit more attention to Jacoby Jones over at first base. He's one of the guys that Ron Gardenhire will turn loose.
Shields has gone 1-0 to 7 of the 9 hitters that he has faced so far in this game, so he continues to fall behind.
He has 4 swings and misses in the game, and all 4 of those swings and misses on changeups to the left-handers. On changeups. We'll see if he continues to try to throw that changeup to Leonis. He threw Leonis a couple of those changeups his first time up.
He struck Martin out in the first. And Leonis now 2 for 10 in the series. The Sox thought about challenging that pickoff throw, but they've decided not to. Drill to right field. Thompson is on the move. He turns around. It's off the gate. Thompson falls down. Jones coming to third. They're going to stop in there. And Leonis has a double.
I don't know if anybody's hitting the ball any harder. I mean harder than Leonis Martin on the Tigers. This seems like every time he makes contact with the ball, it's leaving his bat at about 110 miles per hour. James punched him out with a changeup the first time up. He gets another changeup. This time the ball is up in the strike zone and it's on the inner third of home plate. That's where Leonis likes the ball, and he absolutely smokes that ball off the gate.
It'll bring up Candelario.
108 off the bat that time for Leonis, so I gave him a couple of extra miles per hour. Jamer might as well just go ahead and try to beat this shift and drive in 2 runs. That's what I would do if I was him. It's easier said than done, but I sure would be trying to hit the ball right where Leonis Martin is standing right now.
And he looks at ball 1. Not only are they shifting to the right side, but Sanchez, the third baseman, is on the grass. Candelario walked and scored in the first, and now a pickoff throw to third.
I'm kind of thinking James picked somebody off the Comerica Park at third base, as my memory jogs here for a moment.
Tricky play for Sanchez because he had a long way to run to get to the bag. The 1-0. Bouncer right back to the mound. They got Jones hung up. Now Jacoby in a rundown. They'll try and stay in it long enough. Here's the throw down to second, and he's going to be out there. Candelario got a late break to second, and by the time he made up his mind, he was out.
That was ugly.
Meanwhile, Moncada appears to be shaken up.
Tigers, this is the 3rd time in the series they've came on contact with a runner on third, less than 2 outs. And really, it's not all bad in this particular situation because they're gambling with the speed of Jacoby Jones and especially the way the infielders are shifted. But if you're Jacoby, the one thing that you have to recognize, even though you're coming on contact, Mario, as we see Candelario get tagged out at second base, even though they tell you you're coming on contact, you have to recognize that ball back to the pitcher. You have to recognize that one.
What about Candelario there? It looked like he hesitated around the bag.
He's got to get to second base. If he's going to go, he's got to make it.
Yeah, I've always wondered that about the contact play. There's got to be some room to make a decision in there, doesn't there?
On the ball back to the pitcher.
Ball back to the mound.
Ball back to the mound. Anywhere else, you're going on contact. And the way that they were defending Candelario, they weren't going to throw Jacoby Jones out. So I see why they were gambling Unfortunately for Candelario, he hit it right back to James Shields, and Jacoby Jones couldn't put on the brakes.
1-5-2-4 on that play, and that does certainly not work out for the Tigers. There are 2 gone now with a runner at third.
Steve Little, he talks to Jacoby a lot. And we told a conversation between those two yesterday, if you weren't with us, about how they've developed a really nice bond in that dugout.
And a ball outside to Castellanos. So this is really not the optimal situation here, especially when you've got a guy up there in Castellanos that has homered 3 times in the last 2 days. And now Shields is 1 out away from wiggling out of this jam. Nick takes way outside, 2-0.
And maybe Nick has swung the bat for the last time today after 3 homers, and you've got a runner on third base, less than 2 outs. I'd be shocked if James Shields allows Nicholas to beat him here, but stranger things have happened. And the guy in the on-deck circle, he kind of has his way in this ballpark too. In about 109 games, he's hitting about 340. So Victor's no automatic out.
Inside corner for a strike. 2-1. Nick's home run, his 5th hit of the series. He's got 9 long balls now. The 2-1. 3-1. Shields has been living behind in the count all day long.
And because of that, he's about to throw his 47th pitch of the afternoon, and we're still in the 3rd.
And he walked him, so Castellanos will take his base on balls. By the way, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, simply bring a copy of the Tiger Box to a participating Arby's location tomorrow, and you'll get a free small order of curly fries. Second walk in the game there by Shields, and now he's going to start fresh here with Victor Martinez.
And Tigers nearly ate curly fries yesterday with the 2-homer day from number 9, Nicholas Castellanos.
Vmart grounded slowly his first time up to the second baseman. And he'll look at a ball again, a 1-0 count for Shields.
And not nearly the shift on Victor that they normally play on him, and that's the reason, because the runner's on third base, and Victor will take the base hit the other way if you overshift on him in this situation.
Shields has gone 6 or more innings in 10 straight starts. Ground ball to first and smothered there by Davison. They'll get the out to get Shields out of the pickle. No runs. Tigers strand a couple.
Yeah, he's rotten. He got thrown out too. Yeah, that's my son managing Cedar Rapids. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. I told him to stay in the games. I've been thrown out plenty. Save your money. It's not worth it.
Gardy, yeah, he's rotten.
Tell him to save your money.
Yeah, Gardy, through the years, has been ejected quite a few times, but he's got to be proud of his son Toby managing in the minor leagues now. And here come the White Sox in the third. They've got Tilson, Anderson, and Sanchez. Blaine Hardy surrendered a home run to Matt Davidson in the second. That is popped up foul and headed back into the seats. Tilson 281. Tilson has hit safely in 7 in a row. Fouled away another one. He made his major league debut. I don't know if you remember this, Rod. A couple of years ago at Comerica Park. He was playing center field and injured his hamstring.
I remember.
And his major league debut, and then was shut down. Then, of course, he had the broken foot last year.
Yeah, it's been a tough road back for Tilson.
He'll drive that one in the air to center field. Martin cruising over. One away. Time for a game break now with Mickey York. All right, Mick. Those Indians, man, they're still trying to gain some traction. They lost Carrasco last time when he took a line drive off his elbow. There's a strike called on Tim Anderson. Here are the standings in the Central. Tigers creeping closer, 2.5 back. 2 under 500. How about Hardy now? He's gone 9 of 10 in first pitch strikes.
That's what he does, man. He does it every single time out. He doesn't walk people. He throws a lot of strikes. He creates soft contact. Lots of pop-ups, lots of ground balls, not many strikeouts, and not a ton of swings and misses. You know what he's done very well, Mario, really since he's come to the big leagues, is he's pretty much owned left-handed batters. Left-handers career-wise hitting just 227 against Blaine. And this year he's even better than that. They're only hitting 196 against him. So he gets all the lefties out. And doing a pretty good job against righties too.
Swing and a miss. Anderson out on strikes. 2 away. Well, stay tuned to Tigers Live. Following this game, we select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's. Temps in the 90s today. We told you at the top of the telecast it feels like 100 degrees on the field.
And today's one of those days where you hope the people that are sitting down there in the stands, they're hydrating. It's a hot one.
Drilled to center field. Martinez on the run. Leonis leaping, can't get it up against the wall. Sanchez taking the turn, but he's going to hold up.
Good thing he did hold up, because Leonis Martin, he took that ball at the base of the wall and fired a one-hop strike all the way into the Candelario. Yolmer Sanchez, man, he gets a lot of extra base hits against us.
Yolmer had that triple in the ball game last night.
He's got 4 triples against us already this year. 4 of his 8 triples have come against the Tigers.
Tying run at second now.
This ball smoked over Leonis' head, and he took a leap for it, almost caught it, but then he grabbed it and he picked it up, and he fired a one-hop strike all the way into Candelario to make sure that Sanchez wasn't thinking about going for 3.
Kevin Smith popped up in his first at bat. White Sox now with 4 hits.
here's where, if you're Hardy, man, you got to pitch awfully careful here.
DeBa is looking intently. Tigers pitching coach at Hardy. Up top, swing and a miss. In his last start against the White Sox, Hardy retired the final 14 batters that he faced in that game. He absolutely had the Sox handcuffed through 7 innings, gave up 3 hits, 1 run. Here's the 1-2. Really good numbers in that last start.
And he got his first career win as a starter that day.
Again, the 1-2. Inside, 2-2 on Smith.
3 fastballs in a row to Kevin Smith, all 3 at the top of the strike zone. And he most definitely has them set up for either breaking ball or the changeup if he wants to fade that one away from Smith to see if he can get another strikeout.
Sliced foul out of play.
And it went with a backdoor breaking ball.
Smith has done a really nice job behind the plate as well. His pitching staff owns an ERA just a little bit over 3 with him behind the dish. He got the start yesterday and catching again today. A little broken bat roller. It's going to get by Hardy. Going to be a tough play. Nobody there to cover. Infield hit for Smith, and Sanchez goes to third.
Hardy did the right thing. You go for it as a pitcher, but then once you whiff on it, and he whiffs on it, he does not get down to make the play. You just continue to go to first base, but by the time John Hicks picked it up, no play. Smith must run pretty well.
Yeah, he got down there quickly.
You talked about the fact he's a former quarterback, so I would think he's a good athlete. And he got down the line.
I would say he probably ran the option in college, but he went to Pittsburgh, so we know that's not the case.
Dual threat quarterback, no?
Probably not. Here is Davidson now, who homered in his last at bat. So Davidson now with 12 home runs, but only 2 of them have come here at home. And I guess Kauffman Stadium has become his new home ballpark because he has hit 7 homers in KC this year.
He had a 3-homer game there
opening day
this year, yeah.
Fouled away.
He's batting .239 this year, but for whatever reason, Marv, when we show up, it's a whole different Matt Davidson. This is his career against us. He's a .370 hitter with lots of extra base damage.
Hardy had gone first pitch strike on 11 straight before this at bat. That'll miss inside, 2-1.
Yeah, you don't want to throw him a fastball here. That much I do know. And the flip side of that is Davidson also believes that you're not going to throw him a fastball here. So if you throw him something off speed, you need to locate it. You need to bury it.
Strike call.
Came back with a cut fastball. And Davidson didn't think he was going to get it, and he took it right down the middle.
Tying run at third. It's a 2-1 ball game here in the third.
And Blaine settled on the changeup.
And it's slowing away, 3-2.
It's a real nice look there of a McCann put down every sign. He put down the fastball first, then he put down the slider in, He put down the slider back door, then he put down the changeup, and that's the pitch they decided on the 2-2 pitch.
Runner will go on 3-2 from first base. Swing and a miss. He got him up top. Davidson is out of there. Third strikeout of the game for Blaine Hardy. John Hicks coming up next half inning. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
For it, so it's a big deal, and what baseball does is very important through breast cancer and a lot of other awarenesses, prostate cancer, the whole package. So this is a, you know, as I said, you're in a position where you can help, and I think we should all step up.
All right, guys, that was a little excerpt from my interview with Ron Gardenhire. Of course, last year had the cancer scare, diagnosed with prostate cancer, had successful surgery. And, you know, you see what baseball is doing. Obviously, we see the colors where we try to raise awareness and attention to this. But everybody knows somebody, just like we talk about on Mother's Day. You know, everybody knows somebody's affected by breast cancer. And you could say the same about prostate cancer as well. So, you know, Gardy trying to do his part as well. But he went through it last year and better for it after getting a routine physical.
Well, baseball has done a great job with all these initiatives to try and beat these diseases out there. Prostate cancer research, of course, a big part of the home run challenge every year.
There's been a few managers that have had the prostate cancer. I think Joe Torre did at one point in time. Dusty Baker, also prostate surgery. Ron Gardenhire mentioned he had to go through it as well.
The 1-1 pitch to Hicks is swung on and missed. Hicks, Goodrum, and McCann here in the fourth inning. Tigers lead 2-1. The home run by Nicholas Castellanos, the difference right now. Swing and a miss. Hicks is gone one away. Third strikeout for the right-hander. Tigers fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app, take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you wherever you go. Brought to you by Miller Lite. A cool beverage on a steamy hot day.
What's he got there? Root beer float or something?
It looks like it.
And that sounds good.
0-1 the count on Nico Goodrum.
Looks like he's having a good day.
Nico lines one to left field. That'll get down a base hit, maybe more. Let's see. He's going to take the turn. And Nico will get in there with a one-out double. Slicing liner to left, 13th double of the year for Nico.
And Nico continues to take advantage of every opportunity that he gets. Looks like a little two-seam fastball from a sidearm angle, tailing away from Nico. And he went with the pitch beautifully and sliced it the other way. And by the time Tilson gets over to pick it up, and the speedy, and I mean speedy, Nico Goodrum coasting in the second.
Tigers in the third inning had second and third, nobody out, and failed to score. And now a one-out double here in the fourth. Tigers have a total of 4 hits in this game, and 3 of them now have gone for extra bases. Mack looks at a strike, 0-1.
And White Sox overshifting on McCann in the infield, as they do on just about every batter. And lots of room here for James if he wants to play a little pepper. Tell him.
Swinging a foul to send the count now to 0-2. McCann back behind the dish in this one. Griner caught the game yesterday. James catching 2 out of 3 here in Chicago, and again the team will enjoy an off day tomorrow. Runner goes to third, swinging a number right in front of the plate. McCann is out, and Goodrum goes to third base. Right at the end of the bat.
Another example of the aggressive base running of the Tigers. Jacoby Jones, Goodrum, Iglesias, Martin, all those base stealers, man, they're not afraid to steal third base. We've seen the Tigers attempt to steal third base more this year, Mario, than I think we did all of last year.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
It's amazing.
This is a brand of baseball the Tigers now have embraced.
Nico's on the move there. And had that ball not been fouled off by McCann, he steals that base. I mean, excuse me, not put in play by McCann.
Now Iglesias with 2 outs and a runner at third. Iggy is 0 for 1.
Yeah, Iggy's going to really have to fight to make sure that James Shields is going to pitch to him with that base open. No disrespect to Jacoby Jones, but Iglesias has really been swinging the bat well for the last 6 weeks. And if Shields is going to get beat here, I think he'd rather get beat by Jones than Iglesias.
Here's another pickoff attempt at third. That is 2-in-1 game now for Shields.
When he pitched at our ballpark, and we'll have to check this, I'm almost certain he picked off somebody at third base. Do you remember it or no?
I did not do that series, so I do not remember.
James Shields does do that a lot, though.
Grounded foul outside of the bag at first. 1 ball, 1 strike. I'm trying to remember another starting pitcher that has even attempted that recently.
We did it quite a few times last year when Brad was here. Brad was a big fan of that pickoff move for the pitchers to throw the ball over to third base.
Hard to do with all these shifts, though.
It is nowadays.
These third basemen are either in the hole or on the grass. Iggy broke his bat.
He did pick off Hicks at third base with that move that he's used here today. So my memory is good sometimes, especially on baseball things. Not much else.
Selective memory.
Not much else. It's what pays the bills.
Did you do those chores? I forgot. Who got picked off? Well, that was Hicks.
It was Hicks.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Hey, I mean, Shields is doing a nice job. He's going to make sure if Iglesias gets a hit, he's going to pretty much have to hit a pitcher's pitch. And Jacoby, he has already singled in the game. It was a single down the right field line.
Little up top, and now the count is 3-1. Shields has methodically kind of weaved his way through the Tigers lineup today. He's not really working with a great sense of urgency. He has fallen behind a lot of hitters, yet to this point the home run by Castellanos, the only blemish on his record. Here's the 3-1. Ground ball, base hit out of the reach of Tim Anderson, and a 2-out RBI single for Iglesias.
Shame on James Shields. And that's where the managers sometimes, you have to tell your veteran pitchers what you want them to do. There's no way they want Iglesias to get a hit there with the base open and 2 outs the way that he's been swinging the bat. And you can see it by the reaction of James Shields after the pitch. He was not happy at all.
And a 3-1 count.
Well, he's basically pitching around him the whole time. And after that base hit, I mean, his reaction, he just knew he made a bad pitch. And good for Iglesias and good for the Tigers.
Rally Goose likes to hang out around the bubblegum bucket. I'm noticing a trend here.
Yeah, somebody sent a message out a couple days ago, and I saw it, and it said the Rally Goose meets gum time.
Perfect. That is absolutely perfect. Single for Jones back in the third, did not score.
Iggy leads the team in steals. Always a threat to run.
Shields at first pitch strikes is only 5 for 18. And he's gone 2-0 now on the number 9 hitter, Jacoby Jones. 3-0. Shields winning his last start against Cleveland. He had gone 13 starts between wins. He got a win on opening day, and then in his last start. (3-1). Probably Shields' best year was in 2011 when he finished third in the Cy Young voting behind Verlander and Jared Weaver. What a race that was that year between JV and Weaver.
Shields was getting 200 strikeouts every single year, and he was pitching 200 innings every single year there for about 10 years in a row.
Jacoby thought he had a walk.
There's some barking coming out of that Tigers dugout too.
Stu Sherwater is hearing about it behind the plate. Runner will go on 3-2, and he walked him. Two on now for the Tigers. Tigers hosting the Rangers July 8th at 1:10. And bring along the family. Enjoy the Sunday Family Value Deal that includes 4 meals plus game tickets starting at just $20 per person. Tigers.com/value if you'd like to take advantage of that. Don Cooper is out. Cooper's made a few visits in this series. The veteran of 30 years in the White Sox organization.
15 at the major league level. He's been a major league pitching coach for one team for 15 years. Now that's longevity. I wonder what the record is for one guy being a pitching coach in one place.
How many years did Leo Mazzoni hang around in Atlanta?
He was there for a ton. He was there for that all those that run they were on. How many years did that end up being?
Yeah, it was like a decade worth.
Yeah.
With Bobby Cox.
White Sox have made a major league leading 1,344 quality starts since 2003. That's about the time that he showed up, Mr. Don Cooper, their pitching coach.
By the way, the vodka lemonade is all filled up again today.
Oh, that'll be gone in a little while, though. Trust me.
It won't take long.
In 7th inning, it'll be toast.
7th inning? How about 20 minutes? Yeah, Martin didn't like that call. Double and a strikeout for Leones.
Meanwhile, really good patient at bat by the youngster Jacoby Jones.
Here is the 0-1 pitch. Ground ball right side, fielded there by Moncada, and that will get him out of the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. We'll talk some father and son royalty in baseball when we come back. Before the break about father and son combos, and here's some of the more notable ones in Major League Baseball through the years.
Yep. And the Boones, they had 3 generations of Boones that played. And the Griffeys, of course, the Bonds. Stottlemyres are on that list.
The Fielders did a ton of home runs.
They sure did.
Here is Daniel Palka to lead things off, and he skies one in the air. Right center field, carrying a bit, but not deep enough, and finally falls into the glove of Martin. This is where the wind is blowing out today. A little bit of a breeze. It would be nice if that breeze would come into the booth here.
I know it's blowing the opposite way though today. The wind was really blowing out to right field yesterday afternoon. It's changed directions today. It's blowing out toward left. We've already had a couple of home runs to left field today.
Engel swings on the first pitch and pops it in the air to shallow center.
Thank you very much.
It'll be Leones Martin coming in to make the catch, and there are 2 gone now here in the 4th inning. Fox Sports Detroit's Western Michigan University Day is right around the corner. Join us Wednesday, June 27th. Tigers take on the A's. The special ticket package includes a game ticket, WMU Tigers cap, and a donation back to the school. Tigers.com/WMU. 2 up, 2 down. Here is Yoan Moncada. Hardy pitched around a 3rd inning jam, and now looking for a quick 4th inning. Trying to stay cool any way you can today.
Yes, indeed, man. I don't know if you guys were with us a few days ago, but we had a game at Comerica Park. It was the day that we left, as a matter of fact. The third base coach, Dave Clark, had to leave because of heat exhaustion. So it's nothing to play with. You got to be careful in this kind of weather. And it sneaks up on you, too. I mean, just a couple days ago, I mean, it was just a really nice day, and all of a sudden it jumps up 20 degrees with this humidity.
That's when the weather forecast comes in handy. And we knew the last 2 days were going to be warm. Yesterday was supposed to be really hot, but had a nice little breeze blowing in yesterday. That's popped up. Shallow right field. Goodrum going out, and he'll make the play. It's an 8-pitch 4th inning. Candelario, Castellanos, Martinez coming up.
Hudson loves his dada so much, and we're so thankful for all that you do for our family.
Wow. Nice.
How does that grab you?
It's awesome. You know, this Sunday will be my first Father's Day, and getting to have my son here is going to be awesome. He looks huge in that video for a 4-month-old. He just turned 4 months yesterday.
So the Griner family celebrating Father's Day today. Grayson able to chill here this afternoon with McCann behind the dish, but he certainly is grateful for his first Father's Day.
And Grayson said his baby boy looks huge for just 4 months old, but he's 6'6", so you have to imagine baby boy is probably going to have some size.
Here is Candelario to get it rolling here for the Tigers, and he looks at a strike. 5th inning, Tigers lead 3-1. Jamer, then Castellanos and Martinez. Inside on Candelario.
That's been a constant for about the last 2 weeks. Every single game, whether he's batting left-handed or right-handed, Jamer's gotten a steady diet of hard fastballs inside. Off the plate, he's been hit a few times. There's another one.
He's gone to 3-1. Candelario has already walked once in this game, and Jamer now has a total of 28 walks.
So the key for Jamer is he's laid off those 2 pitches off the plate. Now he's going to get something to really hit. He pushed him back over the plate, so to speak.
The 28 walks is a high for the Tigers ball club. On base percentage because of that has always been pretty decent this year for Candelario, who has been bothered by a bad wrist. Spent some time on the DL. Here's the 3-2. And another walk for Jamer.
Time for the DTE Energy Know Your Own Power. Nicholas Castellanos, like most power hitters these days, they want to hit the ball in the air. You can tell by his swing when he catches it just right, and he has the right exit velocity. He can drive the ball out of the ballpark, as he's done 3 times in this series. 1 homer to right, 2 homers to left field for the Tigers, the starting right fielder.
Shields now with a total of 4 walks. He has walked as many as 5 in a ball game.
He pitched around Nick's last time up with a runner on third, less than 2 outs. He's going to have to pitch to him this time.
In there is strike called, and Castellanos disagrees with Sherwater.
89 mile per hour fastball to Nicholas.
Homer and a walk for Castellanos. 5 hits in this series.
That pitch right there, just 68 miles an hour by James. He'll throw that curveball at that velocity about 3 or 4 times per game. And even slower than that 68 mile per hour reading.
Last year he was from 64 to 83 in his curveball. Quick throw, and he just got back. Shields has had only 1 clean inning, and that was a 9-pitch 1-2-3 second. He's been in trouble all day.
And Nick had a really good fastball to hit right there, and he fouled it straight back. Xfinity. And it tells us that the high-speed pitch today for James Shields is 91, low of 67 on that curveball.
Swing and a miss. Upstairs to get Castellanos. 4 strikeouts for Shields, 1 gone.
He threw Nicholas a lot of fastballs in this at bat. As a matter of fact, 3 fastballs. He got him out on the last one up top at 89.
Shields now will go after Victor Martinez. He's gotten a couple of ground balls from Vmart. Ball 1.
Ron Gardenhire had said for the most part that he was going to try to give Victor Martinez the day games off. Now with Miguel Cabrera being lost for the season, it's going to be tough for him to do that. Victor's played the last number of day games.
Victor had a 3-hit game yesterday. That'll slide inside, 2-0.
He's hit better in this ballpark than any other ballpark that he's ever played in. And career numbers over 340 in this ballpark with lots of homers, lots of RBIs. He's really enjoyed hitting here in this yard. Guaranteed rate field is what they're calling it these days.
Fly ball in the air to center field. Engel circling back to the warning track. Victor is out of there, 2 gone.
They say this ballpark, partners, changed names so many times that true White Sox fans, they simply call it Sox Park.
That's easier. It's much easier. Unlike their counterparts on the other side of town here, they're played in Wrigley Field.
Yeah. We're getting a chance to see Wrigley Field in a couple of weeks. It's all done now. All the renovations and everything is done around the ballpark. I'm looking forward to going over there and seeing what they've done. They poured a lot of money into it.
John Hicks batting here with 2 outs, 3-1. Tigers have the lead here in the 5th. Look at the Hawk and the Big Hurt.
How about that combination?
Hurt doing some broadcasting today.
Big Hurt must be sitting down kind of low, man, because Hawk is towering over him, and the Big Hurt's a huge human being.
Nobody ever towers over the Big Hurt.
Look at him. Hawk looking down on the Big Hurt.
He's got one of them low chairs. Hawk took the big one.
His statue out there for Big Hurt, though. Man, could he hit. He can hit. Hall of Fame.
Now a 2-0 count. There's a strike. It's amazing to me that Shields has been able to fall behind as many hitters as he has today and still only trails 3-1. He's been behind literally everyone.
Well, Mario, he's a crafty veteran pitcher now, and he kind of knows who to pitch to, who not to pitch to, when to throw a strike, when not to throw a strike. I mean, he knows that he can't pitch the way that he used to pitch. Therefore, he's just kind of changed. But the Tigers, they've done a nice job to get those 3 runs against him.
3-1. 8 3-ball counts in this game. 8, and we're only in the 5th. On the outer edge, now 3-2.
That's a perfect example of John Hicks in that situation, believing that he was not going to get a fastball from Shields. And Shields threw him a fastball at about 90 miles an hour right down the middle, and he didn't swing at it.
Runner will go on 3-2. Chopper right side of the infield. Moncada's got to hurry, and he got him. That'll end the inning. No runs, a walk, 1 left. Here comes the bottom of the 5th. And by Chevrolet, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Before the game today here in Chicago, the White Sox players had their families on the field celebrating Father's Day. And here come these Sox now as we go to the 5th inning. Trace Thompson, Charlie Tilson, Tim Anderson in the bottom of the 5th facing Blaine Hardy, who had a snappy 1-2-3 4th. Foul back out of play. The count 1-1 now on Thompson, who struck out in the 2nd. Really, the only start this year in which Hardy, I guess you could say, struggled was the 6th inning effort at Boston. He gave up 5 runs in that game at Fenway Park, but everything else has pretty much been 1 or 2 earned runs, and that's it.
Yeah, and that was just 1 inning, really. He gave up 4 runs in 1 inning against the Boston Red Sox, but he really settled down after that.
High fly ball, center field for Martin. One away, we bring in Johnny Kane.
All right, Mario, I ran into a family of Youpers here. The Pond family from Marquette, Michigan. We got Dad, George. I had to write these down. You're the right-hander? Right-hander's Dylan, the lefty Jack, looking on Mom's phone right now. Ella's the softball pitcher, father-in-law Bob. Everybody's here. And George, you were saying, okay, so we've got the generations of baseball fans here.
Yeah.
Not only did you come to the baseball game today, but you felt like you needed to get a little BP and fielding practice in on the way. Why so?
Well, yeah, we got a couple practices we're missing at home this weekend for the Father's Day weekend, so I figured we got to get a little bit of practice in before we get to the game, you know, keep our skills sharp because we got All-Stars coming up here, so.
No days off for these kids. Hey, they came to Youper night. We got the hat right here. You guys remember when we were giving this sweet thing away? The Tigers games? It's a beautiful thing. What do you think about being able to spend I know your daughters now live here in Chicago, but being able to spend Father's Day with those closest to you?
It's very precious. We have a close family, and we came down for the Tigers and the White Sox. And like I said, we've been to Comerica for Youper night, but pretty special when you come down with the kids and that. As we get older and they get busy, it means a lot. We're glad to be here.
You say you're Spartans, huh? All Spartans, family of Spartans?
Go green.
Go green, Mario. I gave that one for you.
Go
we
white.
do have a Chippewa right here, Fire Up Chips, too.
We have a Bronco, too.
And a Western Michigan Bronco. So we're well represented out here in the right field
Graduated
seats.
from our Iron Mountain.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Iron Mountain.
Tom Izzo.
Tom Izzo. There we go. I mean, everybody, we're just connected people. You know what I mean? Everybody's connected in one way or another.
Attaboy, Johnny. You know, it's great to see multiple generations of families out here. Isn't that great?
At the baseball game.
Well,
Bonding at the baseball game.
Bonding at the ball game, and I had to ask, you know, this is one of those things where, you know, you get old enough or as a father, and then you don't have to pay for your own tickets anymore. That's the way it's supposed to go. So the daughters did purchase the tickets for the family today, which was nice.
Yeah.
A nice gesture. Because I know every time I see my dad, he's still picking up the tabs for dinner and all that. I'm like, thanks, Pop, I love you.
Yeah, well, get off that wallet, Johnny.
I know, I need to.
No, that don't change. It doesn't change.
Working on. Give this guy a raise.
Okay.
You know, maybe about 20 G's for next year. Okay, guys, come on.
Oh, my goodness.
Now I got an agent. I got this whole thing working out.
I only take 5%.
5% is the deal. Jump on it, Johnny.
All right, we'll take it.
All right, thanks. 2 gone here in the 5th inning, and Tim Anderson batting. Yeah, that's fouled back out of play. Hardy's retired 6 straight now, 5 of them on fly balls.
And we told you about Anderson. If you are able to get ahead of him, if you're able to get 2 strikes on him, he will chase. He'll chase up top, and he most definitely will chase the soft stuff at the bottom of the strike zone, if that's the direction you want to go.
Fly ball, right center field, picking up some steam. Martin going back to the wall, and he made the catch.
Look out, Leonis.
Oh, what a play by Martin, up against the wall, saving an extra base hit. Great play by Leonis Martin. And Anderson says, come on.
That's our big boys' big play of the game.
Well, Martin's been busy today. That was his 5th putout, but that was the most impressive one. Nico Goodrum will get it started now against Shields. We go to the 6th inning, 3-1. Tigers in search of a sweep. Nico got things rolling with a 1-out double in the 4th that eventually scored on a 2-out single by Iglesias. Shields with a rare 0-1 count, and the next pitch is popped up. Shallow right field. Anderson called off now by Engel.
That's a nice job by Anderson. Any of the middle infielders, you go back as hard as you can, and even if you're camped underneath the baseball, if you get called off by the outfielder, you just get out of the way.
It'll bring up McCann. James 0 for 2. Shields now is at 92 in the pitch count total, so he is marching toward 100 as we play here in the 6th. 101 in his last start. That is not his season high. 108 is. I don't know the way the game is going, Rod, but do you ever foresee a time where pitch counts don't get scrutinized at 100? Maybe they allow guys to go deeper in games, or are those days gone?
I don't foresee it ever happening again, Mario. I mean, the only way that I see it happening is if analytics changes, and they're not as prevalent as they are in the game today, because one of the reasons why guys don't go very far anymore in games is because of analytics, in my opinion. They don't like for the starting pitcher to face the lineup the 3rd time through because the numbers just aren't pretty. Therefore, bullpens get used a lot of times when that 3rd time comes around, and it's usually around 80 to 90 to 100 pitches. So I don't really see it going back up unless the game's changed the way that people think about the game.
Yeah, not only that, but you would have to change the way organizations go about their philosophy. I mean, even in the minor leagues now, guys are kind of groomed for that plateau.
I mean, you have some organizations that don't even allow guys to pitch their way out of jams in the minor leagues, and therefore when they get to the big leagues, they haven't really faced those types of situations with regularity.
Now they 1-2, and McCann strikes out swinging. 2 away. Hey, join Detroit Tigers Vacations for the 2018 Fantasy Road Trip to see the Tigers take on the Cubs at Wrigley Field in Chicago, July 22nd, or the 2nd rather, through the 5th. Package includes round-trip transportation, hotel accommodations, game tickets, and a whole lot more. 313-471-2550. So take advantage of that.
I think Dan Petrie is going to be on that bus cruising over to Chicago in a couple of weeks with the fans. Road trip.
Is there a better guy than Peach?
Love Peaches.
Stop into the booth every now and then. Of course, one of the heroes of the '84 campaign. Little flare in a shallow center field. Angle coming on to make the catch. And Shields has a 1-2-3 inning. Only his 2nd of the ball game.
No matter where you serve or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
Blaine Hardy back to the mound now as we head to the bottom of the 6th here at Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago. Tigers have a 3-1 lead, and they are trying to sweep the White Sox.
Yeah, Blaine Hardy doing as he has done in his prior starts, giving his team an opportunity to win.
Pulled on the ground, nice backhanded play by Jamer. One gone.
And Blaine just likes to pitch to contact. He throws lots of strikes. He's not necessarily looking for swings and misses. Here's a changeup that Sanchez gets out in front of. That's what the changeup is designed to have the right-handed batter do. Be out in front and be off balance and hit something on the ground, and he does exactly what Hardy wants him to do.
Eight straight retired by Hardy. Of course, he had some help on that fly ball from Anderson. Leaping play by Leonis Martin last inning. Slow roller, left side of the infield. Iggy with a scoop. Quick flip off the bag, safe. And apparently Hicks did not tag him. It'll be a base hit.
And Davidson homered against Blaine Hardy his first time up, but Blaine Hardy got him his last time up. Let's take a look at our bell tire. Pitch by pitch. Blaine works all 4 quadrants of the strike zone, and he finally gets him to swing at a fastball up top or backdoor breaking ball at 86 miles an hour.
Confab on the mound now as McCann walks out there with a couple of his infielders. Infield single for Smith.
Well, really the only guy in the lineup with a lot of power. I mean, Anderson has 11 homers, and Anderson has hurt the Tigers, but Davidson is a big at bat right here, and they're not going to allow Davidson to beat them. So maybe a pitch and change.
Yeah, it looks like it. Coleman has been warming up in the Tigers bullpen with Davidson coming up, so it appears Blaine's going to be done.
Blaine's only thrown 77. He's been cruising.
He was, what, he taken out after 85 in his last start?
They're going to talk about it, or you just going to make a move? Ron usually makes a move earlier. Yeah, he's gone.
Well, trying to buy some time for Coleman here, and that's going to be it for Hardy. They'll bring in the right-hander, and we'll be back. And on Father's Day, Major League Baseball supports the Home Run Challenge and prostate cancer research. Mario and Rod back here at the ballpark in what has been an entertaining game today. In the final game of the series, Blaine Hardy again, tremendous work for the Tigers.
Well, I mean, he throws a lot of strikes. I mean, and we've talked about him every single time he goes out there. Fastball, 90 miles an hour with a good breaking ball, good changeup, soft contact. He really pitches well against this Chicago White Sox team.
Lewis Coleman will come in now to face the right-handed batting Davidson, who has homered in this game. So Blaine Harney will not be allowed to face him. Wall side windows change. Here are the numbers on Coleman. Davidson pops it in the air. Right field. Castellanos under it. 2 gone. Time for a game break now. Here is Mickey York. That'd be something. That Royals team just put Soler on the DL, one of their best hitters.
Really? He was having a good year.
Yeah, and so they need some guys to step up. Dozier is today. Daniel Palka. 0 for 2, ground out, fly out. A little bit outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Palka acquired off the waiver wire from Minnesota. Way up top, 2-1. Tigers jumped out to a 2-0 lead. Castellanos homer to the first. Davidson homer to make it 2-1. Tigers an RBI single from Iglesias to make it 3-1. It'll dart in there for a strike.
I couldn't believe that Shields gave up that base hit to Iglesias. Base open, 2 out, the way that he's been swinging the bat.
It was a huge play in this game, and it made a 1-run game into a 2-run game. Fouled away. Well, the Tigers have won 4 straight games, and in that span, their bullpen has an ERA of 0.66. So if you're looking for keys, the bullpen has been able to get it done late. And the home runs by Nicholas Castellanos have not hurt either. Way inside, McCann down to block it.
And you wonder what Gardenhire will do here today if it's a save situation. And Shane Green is pitching, what, 4 days in a row?
Yeah, and Gardy said don't even think about 5 days in a row. So he's not available today.
Is Green sitting in that bullpen?
You thinking he might talk his way in?
If he's out there.
Here's the 3-2 and a foul ball.
Sometimes when the manager really wants to give that reliever a day off and he doesn't want to get talked into that reliever pitching, he'll make the reliever put his spikes and leave his spikes in the clubhouse. Don't even put them on. You sit in the dugout. Don't even think about it.
Well, Gardy knows he has gone to his back enders, whether it's Farmer and Jimenez and Green, quite a bit this year. He's very cognizant of that. Little number hit toward third base, surrounded there by Candy. He's thrown out in time. How about Palka barreling down the line to beat it out? It's a base hit.
You can see where Candelario starts at. He's playing Palka to pull because he hits most of the balls on the ground the other way. And so it presents a problem because you have to get over there to make the play and then gather yourself and make a throw, and a guy that doesn't have good speed gets rewarded with an infield single.
Two-out threat now for Adam Engel. Huge swing there by Engel.
I guess sometimes the shift does give, and most of the times it takes away hits, but every now and then in a situation like that, an infield single for Palka. There's Shane Green. He's kicking it out there in the bullpen. He's chilling.
He might be the only person in this entire ballpark with a hood on today. Temps in the mid-90s. Uh-oh, we found another one. Fires. I stand corrected. 1-2 on Engel. Hardy didn't walk anybody today. 0 base on balls, and so 9 straight games now in which Tigers starters have 2 walks or fewer. They have not beaten themselves. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Engel is out of there, and the threat is over. No runs, couple of singles, 2 left. Jacoby Jones will get it started in the 7th.
We're so thankful for you and love you so much. I love seeing you be a dad to Mira. You bring us so much joy. Here's to you, baby. Happy Father's Day.
I'm special. I love my girls. I'm excited to see them tonight. Yeah.
Happy first Father's Day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Matthew Boyd, that had to be a little bit emotional to watch there.
Yeah, it was. You can
like
tell.
Getting teared up a little bit.
And nothing like family, man. Nothing like family.
Boyd will pitch on Tuesday. Game 1 in that series in Cincy. Look out. That ball sailed over the back of Jones. You know, Jacoby's gotten hit 7 times this year, which leads the Tigers.
That little breaking ball there.
How did not hit him?
Did he hit his bat?
Might have. Or was that the glove?
Ball? That's a ball, so it didn't hit the bat. Sure looked like it. Close.
Jones on base with a single and a walk twice in this game. He's been on. And another 1-0 count for James Shields. On the inside corner, 1-1.
Yeah, a little front door breaking ball there thrown by James Shields. He started that ball right at Jacoby, ended up on the inner corner. Call for a strike.
It'll go foul. There's action in the bullpen. Volstad and Avilan. Avilan is the left-hander.
And Shields is at 101.
Here's the 1-2. Tigers trying to win another game here against the Sox. They've won 7 of 8 this year against Chicago, and they're 5-0 in this ballpark. Line drive to right, base hit. Jacoby goes the other way with his second hit of the game. Leadoff man on. A live coverage of the FIFA World Cup continues tomorrow at 7 a.m. Eastern on FS1 as Sweden takes on Korea Republic. Then on Fox, Belgium battles Panama at 10 Eastern, followed by Tunisia and England at 1. The FIFA World Cup Monday on Fox and FS1. We're streaming all live on the Fox Sports app. That'll be it for James Shields. He will depart here in the 7th, and we'll be back. Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. Hot, steamy day in the south side of Chicago at Guaranteed Rate Field. The Tigers have the lead, and we've got a Wallside Windows pitching change as the left-hander comes on. That's Luis Avilan.
Now, he throws his changeup 46% of the time. He'll throw it to the left-handers and the right-handers. That was a breaking ball there and a huge swing by Leonis Martin.
Double and 3 at bats for Martin.
I mean, Avilan's fastball tops out at about 93, but he only throws it 36% of the time. And he loves his curveball, and he really loves his changeup.
Now Martin calling time and stepping out and having some words with Sherwater. Something in his eye. Well, they got him picked off. Jones jogging to second. It's going to be tagged out. One away.
A lot of times when you're a base stealer and Jones is a base stealer, you go on first movement. And in this case, Jacoby left way too prematurely. He takes off, and just a simple little pick off there of Avilan, and another out. That's the second pickle that Jacoby's been caught in today. He got caught in a rundown between third and home earlier in the game.
He'll go as a caught stealing 1-3-6. Tigers have had 3 base runners erased on the bases today. They had a chance to get a lot of early runs in the third when they had second and third with nobody out and failed to score. 2 of them on 1 play in that inning. Look out. That'll whistle right by the dugout.
And then down in the camera well. That ball whistled into the camera well. Everybody looks like they're all right.
Hats off to our crew here in Chicago. It is a warm, steamy day today. A very difficult day to concentrate when you're out in the elements. I mean, it's hot in the booth, but we at least are covered. Andy, how you doing? There's a swing and a miss, and Martinez out on strikes. 2 away. That'll bring up Jamer Candelario. Blaine Hardy started this one for the Tigers, relieved by Coleman. Shields went all the way till the 7th here, relieved by Avilan. Jamer on base twice, both walks. Ball 1.
If somehow, some way, Jamer is able to reach, and I doubt very seriously whether Castellanos will face Avilan. And no one in the American League has a better batting average against left-handers than Nicholas. And batting .414 against lefties. Therefore, Volstad getting hot in that bullpen.
Rolled foul.
And there's that changeup that Avilan loves. He throws it 46% of the time, and which means he's throwing that thing a whole lot to lefties too.
Rolled foul, third base side. 2-2 now on Candelario. Oh, come on now, security.
It's hot down there, man. It's hot down there, man. The heat get to him, man. They had 3 of them booted. The first guy booted it too.
No, but he slowed it down for him.
Yeah, then he just got this. Now he had 1 boot right here. Right through the 5 hole.
That's bad.
That's bad effort in that one right there.
Three and 2.
He talking to the dude. He said, man, it's hot down there, partner.
You put this glove on.
He said, that's the second one I missed this year.
You think he actually called him partner? Probably not. 3 and 2 on Jamer. And another walk for Candelario, his 3rd of the game. Well, we're being told it's still holding steady at 93 degrees, and it still feels like 100 on the field. So the vodka lemonade's getting lower and lower.
Oh, it's about toast.
That's going to be it for Avilan. They're going to bring Volstad in to face Castellanos. Pitching change in Chicago. We'll be back.
image provided by StatCast tells us that it was the launch angle, not the exit velocity that aided that ball in going out of the ballpark. The exit velocity was under 100, but the launch angle was at 30. So that's what helped Nicholas hit his 9th home run of the season.
Last 2 years, boy, the numbers have really spiked against the White Sox.
Candelario, he's about ready to get hot again. Anytime you see a guy with the kind of patience that he's had today, 3 base on balls, standing on first base again, that's a real good sign for a guy starting to see the baseball a little bit better. I predict the rest of this road trip, Candelario is going to do something special.
2-run shot and a walk for Castellanos. He'll bat here with 2 outs. And Nick fouls it away 0-1.
And Nick punched out his last time up. It was a breaking ball at the top of the strike zone against the starter, James Shields.
Wallside windows, pitching change. Chris Volstad, the former Marlins starter, is in.
And Volstad, fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. Lots of curveballs, lots of sliders.
Volstad has the most relief innings of any bullpen member for the White Sox. He did make 1 start back in late April and took the loss going 4 1/3. That'll be slow and away. 2-1. Castellanos has never homered 4 times in a single series. He has 3 in this series. Not only that now, but he is 3rd in the American League with 89 hits. Trying to make a push for an all-star bid. 2-1 is ripped to short, knocking Anderson down to his feet. He throws in time.
Oh my goodness.
That is a great play by Tim Anderson.
Highway robbery.
Castellanos is robbed. Anderson getting to his feet quickly. Coming up, the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch.
Connected for his 9th homer of the season. That came with 1 out in the very first inning against James Shields. And for whatever reason, when the Tigers show up, Mark Davidson, he does his best impersonation of Frank Thomas. For whatever reason, I said that name, but that's how he looks against us. That's his 6th career homer against Tigers pitching, and Iglesias with 2 outs. He got himself a big knock that came in the 4th inning and driving home Nico Goodrum.
Well, we'll see if the Tiger bullpen can hold this one here today, Rod. But I tell you what, I mean, this is a ball club now that has a chance to sweep this series here in Chicago. And not only that, but they would be 1 game under 500.
That's what I'm talking about, man. And really, that's when other teams start to take you seriously, when you do get to 500. And it's so impressive to watch the way this team goes about its business on a day-to-day basis, the hustle that they play with. I know they made some mistakes on the bases today, but Ron Gardenhire, he's cool with that because he loves the aggressiveness of his ball club, and they've won more games than they've lost with the aggressiveness.
All right, now Nicholas Castellanos, 3 home runs in the last 2 days on the heels of an 0 for 19 slump. What has been the difference?
Well, he's gotten the ball back closer to the body. He's gotten strikes to hit. I mean, that last ball that he hit there to Anderson, he about undressed him because he got himself in a 2-1 count. If you look at the damage that Nicholas has done in the series, he's laid off the bad pitches, the pitches he had been swinging at when we were at Comerica Park during the course of that last homestand, and he's been getting better pitches to hit. But I will say this too, Mario. The pitching staff that we went against at Comerica Park that left, the Cleveland Indians, they threw 3 really good right-handers at us. So sometimes you can have a lengthy slump as a right-hander when you're going up against Kluber and Bauer and Clevenger.
Good point. But Mr. Castellanos has busted out of that. So here in the 7th, bottom 3, Moncada, Thompson, Tilson facing Lewis Coleman, who came on to get the final 2 outs of the 6th. I don't know about you, but Lewis Coleman has done quietly a fabulous job in the Tigers' pen.
Yeah, veteran reliever. He throws from a different arm slot. He provides some deception. And there's no one else like Coleman in that Tigers bullpen. And he comes with a wealth of experience. I mean, this guy has pitched in a lot of really big games in the course of over the course of his career in Kansas City.
Here's the 2-1. 2-2 on Yohan Moncada, who singled in the 2nd. Alex Wilson warming up. Again, no Shane Green today. He's thrown in 4 straight.
And which means that Greening's going to get 2 days off.
Swing and a miss, and Moncada's out of there, 1 gone.
That's what I love that Coleman does. When you see a guy that throws from this arm slot, what you're thinking about is you're thinking about the ball being down in the strike zone. But I just love the swings and misses that he gets at the top of the strike zone. Look at the angle. It starts from down there, and he throws the ball straight uphill. Look at the ball rise. You just don't see that very often. Usually you see guys let the ball go high and it goes low. He lets it go from a low angle to a higher plane in the strike zone.
Trace Thompson, the batter, he's 0 for 2.
And what makes him good is the fact that you don't see a lot of guys that throw the way that Coleman throws. And Tigers need to score as many runs as they possibly can, because what we don't want to happen here today. And if the score stays the same, it's going to happen. And we're going to see Abreu. And we don't want to see Jose Abreu today.
Abreu has been struggling, did not start the ball game here this afternoon.
Getting a rare day off. I can't remember any other time that we've played Chicago since Abreu joined them 4 years ago where he's taken a day off against Detroit.
Two and 2 on Thompson. Tilson, the number 9 hitter, waiting on deck. Tigers have led all day. They scored 2 in the first. They have not trailed. Chop to third base. It flattens up, and Jamer stays with it. 2 away. We check in now with Johnny Kane.
You have questions, I have answers. All right, you want to know how many vodka lemonades they've sold?
Just don't drink none, Johnny.
Yeah, I know, man. They're only selling them for 1 more out. They're done after the 7th, which explains why they ran out yesterday. But They said they sold about 160 at this one, and there's another stand over in left field. They sold about 150. So we're figuring around more than 300. But at $10 a pop, that's pretty good.
Hey, they throwing them, they're knocking them back, Johnny.
It's a beautiful thing.
See, this is why it pays to have Johnny Kane work in a series.
Yeah, yeah.
He will get you some answers.
Hey, man, that journalism degree.
That's
you
right.
know what I mean? Can't be afraid to ask the tough questions.
No.
Looks like one of them's drinking water, so they got them designated driver down there.
Perfect. That's fouled away. Tilson hitting with 2 outs here in the 7th. A couple of fly balls for the number 9 hitter. Coleman trying to finish him off. And 8 McCann up. And it also hit the batter. That's going to be it, it appears, and the signal has gone to the bullpen from Ron Gardenhire. So the Tigers go to the pen. Wilson coming in, and we'll be back.
You're lucky you got them to stand still that long. But you know, now that they're actually turning into little humans, it's fun to hear them get affectionate and let you know what they think. And a lot of times you don't really need to know what they think, but they let you know anyways.
Well, that was a cute overload there.
Willie said, "I'm surprised you got him to sit still that long."
Outside windows pitching change now for Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson has done nice work since coming off the disabled list with the plantar fasciitis. And 3.86 on run average overall this season. 17 strikeouts, 7 walks.
2 on base runner for Tim Anderson. And a 2-run game. Anderson looks at a strike.
Anderson's got some power, but most of his power is to left field. Last time, as a matter of fact, he nearly hit one out to center that Martin made a really nice play on.
Wilson, since returning from the disabled list, has gone 3 1/3 scoreless.
9 of Anderson's 11 homers have gone to left field, so that's where a pitcher, you want to make sure that you make him hit the ball the opposite way, away from his power, if you can.
You know, the weird thing for Anderson this year, 11 homers, but 10 of those have been hit on the road. And what is known as a good home run hitting park here in Chicago.
He's had 7 at-bats against Alex, and he's gotten 2 hits, 2 for 7. Ooh, good swing right there. That boy's, I mean, he's got a quick bat. Tim Anderson has a really quick bat. Good setup there as well. He's right on that.
Here's the 1-2. Cleveland won their game today. They beat the Minnesota Twins. Cleveland had lost a couple straight to Minnesota, but they won today 4-1. Here's a look at the box score for the White Sox. Davidson has a solo shot, their only run so far today.
And tomorrow, these White Sox will head to Cleveland to take on the Indians.
The White Sox a season high 21 games under 500. They came in at 24-45. Tigers trying to sweep their second straight series in this ballpark. They did it as well back in April. Little pop up back at second, going to drop, base hit. Holding at second base, Tilson, and now 2 on for Chicago. Tying runs aboard for Yolmer Sanchez. So with 2 outs and nobody on, a hit batter and a bloop single, and the White Sox have some life here in the 7th. Sanchez a double in 3 at bats. Ground ball towards short, Iglesias. And he'll get the final out of the inning to retire the side. John Hicks due up second. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. Ram picked the stick update, and so far the big winner today is Rod Allen.
Yeah, Nicholas Castellanos has provided a lot of points the last couple of days.
You almost did not take Nicholas today.
I almost did not take Nicholas today because I had the feeling that after 16 points yesterday, somebody else would do something special. And I'm glad that I took him. I'm glad I didn't overthink it today, as I almost did. But you got first pick tomorrow. If you don't take Nick tomorrow, I'll take him.
Well, tomorrow's an off day, so.
Well, Tuesday.
No, I'm taking Nick.
If you don't take him on Tuesday, I'll take him again.
Pending the lineup and making sure Nick does not get a day off on Tuesday. Write it down right now. I got Nick Tuesday. Write it down. Slow roller back up the middle, Anderson. And Vmart is out on one pitch, one gone in the 8th.
And Hicks homered in this ballpark on Friday. And here's that homer that came off Ronaldo Lopez. That came early in the game, too. That got the Tigers off and rolling against a talented right-hander. 31-degree launch angle with an exit velocity of nearly 105 for the Tigers' first baseman.
Hicks came in 361 in the month of June. Tigers have not lost since Miguel won on the DL, correct?
Well, 4 days. Yeah, I'm thinking possibly. Yeah, 4 games in a row.
I think they're 4-0. They have stepped up.
As you mentioned earlier, Tigers with a win today under their new skipper, Ron Gardenhire. They will be just 1 game under 500.
Here's the 2-0. Pulled foul right behind Dave Clark. So what kind of music do you think Gardy's going to be sporting on the team bus going to the airport today?
Well, I don't know, but it kind of depends on what mood he is in the coaches. I have a feeling it's going to be a little low-key today because it's been a hot day, you know what I mean? I think on a road trip over here, a lot of families, I think the guys are tired. I think it'll be a little low-key today. Some easy listening today.
Gardy, if you haven't heard, we told the story on the air, loves to sit at the back of the bus. Usually the manager sits in the front seat. That's just his seat.
That's his seat.
But Gardy brings his radio back there and just plays music.
And not only does he sit back there, but his buddy right there sitting right next to him, Joe Vavra, sits in the back of the bus, and Rick Anderson, the bullpen coach. So we've got 3 coaches in the back.
Down goes Hicks, and there are 2 gone now. Volstad picks up a strikeout.
He's definitely changed the culture in Detroit with the way that he has managed this group of hungry players.
Well, it's really a heck of a staff. I mean, in terms of what we need, very accessible. Even Steve Little and, of course, Chris Basio is pitching coach, Joe Vavra.
Right. And, of course, the holdovers, Lloyd McClendon and Dave Clark. And provided Gardenhire and his staff with a couple of guys that have been here in the past. They've seen what's gone on in the past. You got a young coach, fresh face over at first base, and Raymond Santiago, first-year coach. You need some of those guys on the team, too.
Don't forget Rick Anderson out of the bullpen as well. He is a wealth of knowledge.
Well, he's a former pitching coach for 13 years in Minnesota with Ron. It's a good staff. It's a nice blend, nice mix.
Here's Mr. Anderson.
He's chilling right now, too.
How hot do you think it is in that bullpen today?
Well, they're not moving a lot down there, partner. Trust me. I don't know. I was in the club. I mean, in the dugout yesterday. I didn't go down there today, but they have a fan down there that kind of keeps that dugout cool. So I'm sure they probably have something down in that bullpen as well that keeps it as cool as they possibly can. I mean, you can see it right. Oh, I forgot my telestrator's not working. I was going to draw again and show you where that fan was. There it is. You can see it. You don't need me to circle something all the time for you.
You can hear it whirring away out there. It's working overtime, man.
Yeah, that thing probably ready to conk out.
It's gonna blow up.
I knew he had something down there. Look, that's why he's sitting so cool and chill.
Now that's a veteran right there.
He ain't moving. And Buck getting his fair share of it too.
Step aside, son. This is my seat right here. Bounced up the middle. And Goodrum is on. Well, we'll hear from Ron Gardenhire and his father on this Father's Day when we return.
there's a ball against the fence, go get it. But he's right, Ronald, just go get the ball. So he was a tough guy, but he was very fair.
Well, you know, when the parents use your full name, man, they mean business.
No question about that. My dad was the same way with me, man, when he coached me in amateur sports, you know what I mean, until I got old enough to where I was playing in some other places, man. He used to be hard on me too, man. But because the dad could never take it easy on the son.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, I go home, Mom, he's mean.
So they call you Roderick? Go get the ball.
My mom called me Roderick.
Is that right?
Yeah, she was the one. I could tell when she was a little hot.
Kevin Smith is getting it started here in the 8th. It'll be Smith, Davidson, Palka against Mr. Wilson, who came on to get a final out in the 7th. And Willie will try and get through the 8th. 1 ball and 1 strike on Smith. 2 singles in this game, both of the infield variety. There is more action. Hector Santiago in the bullpen for Chicago. 1-2.
And it looks like if the score stays as it is, that Jimenez is going to get an opportunity to pitch the 9th here today.
Big Joe has been the 8th inning guy. Shane Green not available today, so Jimenez would be your choice. Little chopper right back to Willie. Nice play.
And Davidson homered in the 2nd inning. It was a solo shot. It came on a breaking ball thrown by Blaine Hardy. 376 feet. Their projected distance for Davidson.
One for 3 for Davidson. White Sox the last couple of innings have had their chances. 2 on, didn't score in the 6th. 2 on, did not score in the 7th.
Alex is throwing nothing but strikes. He's thrown a total of 12 pitches, 9 of those over the heart of the plate. He's only missed the strike zone with 3 pitches.
Bouncing ball, third base side. Candelario with the running scoop. In time for the out.
Tiger's been playing some good defense, man. When your pitching is efficient and your pitching is throwing strikes. Blaine Hardy started the game throwing strikes. Then Lewis Coleman came in throwing strikes. Now you got Wilson throwing a bunch of strikes. And when your defense is on the balls of its feet, because you're not keeping on a defense all day, on a very hot day, you see guys make good plays. We've seen several good plays today.
Now Daniel Palka. Ball 1. I think the Rally Goose still has his beak in that bubblegum bucket.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think he's in it to win it now. He's here to stay. Whether he wants to stay or not.
1 ball, 1 strike. Yep, Rally Goose still in the bubblegum bucket. Rally Goose has a day off like the rest of us tomorrow. Two and 1. Rally Goose right now with the 3-1 lead might be catching a couple of winks.
Well, it's been a couple long days. It's been toasty over here the last couple of days.
Here's the 2-1. Drilled toward left center field. It'll get down. Jacoby cuts it off nicely and holds him to a single. Jones covering a lot of ground out there. 2-out base hit. It is a whole new ball game with RBI Baseball 18. RBI Baseball 18 delivers an all-new franchise mode and much more. RBI Baseball 18 is available now. Learn more at RBIGame.com. Rated E for everyone.
I don't know for sure if we'll see Abreu in the 9th, but you would think that here would be a spot that Rick Renteria would use Abreu if he was going to use him at all.
You know, I was thinking the same thing. Abreu, well, there he is, just chilling. But you got a chance to tie this game up here.
Yeah. He must have told him no matter what. Well, we'll see. A lot of times when managers give one of their everyday guys a day off, even in Abreu, I mean, it's a total day off.
One ball, one strike. And there is Jimenez tuning up.
You think he got Joe up here for Abreu just in case?
He might. That's popped up. Not going to need him here. Goodrum is under it, and that'll retire the side. No runs, a 2-out single is stranded. James McCann will lead off the ninth. Holding on to the 3-1 lead, and it'll be James McCann, Jose Iglesias, and Jacoby Jones. Mack in the ball game is 0 for 3. Hector Santiago is on now for the White Sox, and a ball outside to McCann.
And wall side windows pitching change on Hector Santiago. 21st game. 55 2/3 innings logged already.
McCann fouls it away, 1-2. Santiago in his second stint with Chicago has also been with the Angels and Minnesota. But early on in his career was a starting pitcher. Fouled away. Jimenez still warming in the Tigers pen. Moncada, Thompson, Tilson will face him. Well, they're at least scheduled to face him. Bottom 3. Tigers have not won 5 straight since September of 2016.
Whoa, that's a long time ago.
And
would you dig that nugget up at?
A win today would give them 5 in a row. Well, we have tremendous resources at our disposal in the booth. Ball outside. Ethan's been digging stuff up the last 3 days, making me look good.
Yeah, no one better in baseball than Ethan.
2-2 on Hector Santiago. Or from Hector Santiago. McCann pops it up. And it's going to be caught in short right field by Moncada. 1 gone here in the 9th. Ball side windows brings you the upcoming matchups with Cincinnati on the docket next.
Sal Romano going up against Matthew Boyd in the opener. Matthew Boyd, man, he has been tremendous this year. 3-2-3, 4-4 with a 3-7. 5-6-7 for Romano. And Fulmer also will match up with Tyler Mahle on Wednesday.
Iglesias looks at a strike.
Tigers going into Cincinnati just the way they really want to, with a couple of guys pitching some really good baseball right now in Boyd and Fulmer, and a team that's all of a sudden playing pretty well away from Comerica Park.
Yeah, the road record was just not very good for the Tigers. Still a long way to go in that respect, but got a chance here to win 3.
Well, it was the only thing that was preventing them from getting to 500. But now with a win here today, they'll be just 1 game under.
1-2 on Iglesias.
What's cool about the squad is the contributions that they're getting from everybody. Look at Nicholas. You better leave Tiny alone. Doug Teeter, the head athletic trainer. They call him Tiny. Good man.
Oh, come on, Nick.
They're having fun, aren't they?
He gave him the thumbs down.
Who did? Teet?
Nick, did you see him?
No, he gave Teet the thumb down.
He pointed to Doug and said thumbs down.
He don't want to have no fun.
Yeah, except when they need the trainer.
He's
then they're all in.
He's done marvelous work this year with all the injuries the Tigers have had, trying to keep guys healthy, keep them on the field. And Tigers training staff, they do marvelous work.
Flared back out of play. There was a time in May where the Tigers all of a sudden, after an injury-free April, were having everybody fall down with injuries.
They were falling like flies every day. Ron Hart kept the ship afloat, though.
Iglesias not going down without a battle.
He's tough to strike out. And that much we do know about Jose. I believe he strikes out once every 9 at-bats, which qualifies him for a residency in the top 10.
Sliced and caught by Moncada.
Quality at bat by Iggy, the new American citizen.
He had fouled off 5 pitches in that at bat before lining to second base. It'll bring up Jacoby Jones. On base 3 times today, single walk, single. That'll miss low and in. 2 balls and 1 strike now on Jacoby Jones. Here's the 2-1. Make it 2-2. The only run for the White Sox came way back in the second on the home run by Davison. Tigers got 2 in the first, 1 in the fourth. Not a whole lot of offense to speak of today. And Jones skies one in the air toward right center field. Hit well. Engel is on the run, still going to the warning track to haul it in. 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning here in Chicago. I don't care what you say, Nick. Tony gets 2 thumbs up.
He gets 2 thumbs up
here in the booth. Really good again, just 1 earned run in 5 1/3 in this game. James Shields, he walked 4, went 6, gave up 3 runs, and Castellanos, well, what a series he has had. And now the Tigers trying to put the finishing touches on this with Joe Jimenez on the mound.
And Joe Jimenez has 1 save this year. And that came against Toronto. He's been unbelievable in the 8th inning. A 2.10 ERA, 13 holds, 37 strikeouts, just 8 walks for Joe Jimenez. He's got an upper 90s fastball. He'll sink the fastball every now and then, 2-seam variety. And he also has a changeup and a slider. So he's got 3 pitches coming out of that bullpen.
Bottom 3, 2 up here in the 9th. Yohan Moncada leads it off. And he looks at a strike, 0-1.
And last 3 outings for Joe. He's only given up 1 hit, no earned runs, and pitch count very economical. 17, the most that he threw in an inning, and that came on Thursday against Minnie.
Strike 2 called. 0-2 on Moncada. Fouled away. Single and 3 at-bats for Moncada. Tigers have never won 6 consecutive games in this ballpark. They can do that with a win here today. Looks like Dad came through with a foul ball there.
Yeah, even on Father's Day, Dad still can't keep the baseball. You still got to give it to the little one. That's what dads do.
Now Jimenez with the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Moncada is out of there, 1 gone.
Good fastball at 97. And right by the talented rookie, Yohan Moncada.
Abreu is still seated on the bench.
Well, just stay there, Jose.
Trace Thompson. Thompson 0 for 3 today. He grounded out in his last at bat. Wilson goes 1 2/3 to cover the 7th and the 8th.
Ooh, 98. And that last fastball thrown by Joe. Joe come in today just throwing heat on a hot afternoon.
One rode in on his hands.
Whew. That had some hair on it. It sounded loud.
Swing and a miss. Thompson is out of there. 2 gone. Joe Jimenez has come on out of the bullpen, throwing heat, and then he finished him off.
No shot there for Trace Thompson.
Charlie Tilson is their last chance. Strike 1, man. Joe, just here it is. Feel free. 97 miles an hour.
10 pitches. 8 strikes.
On the outer edge that time. Now 0-2.
And McCann only putting down 1 finger.
Greeny a day off after going 4 straight. And to this point, no sweat for Joe Jimenez. Fouled off. Should Tilson reach? Anderson waiting on deck. Jimenez strikeouts, Moncada and Thompson. Did he go? Did not.
Ooh, half the Tigers infield headed off the field, trying to get into that air-conditioned clubhouse. Joe said, "Nah, that's a strike."
Got him, strike 3, and Jimenez comes out of the bullpen to strike out the side.
The Tigers have swept the Chicago White Sox.
5 straight wins for the Tigers going into the off day tomorrow. And Joe Jimenez with the exclamation point today. Now we send into the Call Sam Studios, Mickey York, Craig Monroe standing by with Tigers Live postgame.